Welcome to Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes. This is Grand Arena's second matchup, Week 3, Season 20. Last round here against Lee. He saved basically everything for offense, had a very weak defense, which we used for experimenting, doing a bunch of solos, doing some feats. He did attack, but he had some trouble here against Darth Revan, which is why I like to put Darth Revan on defense. No trouble against the other teams. The other teams are really there. I'm trying to bait a lot of my recent opponents into actually attacking me so I can test out some of these teams and see how they perform. Specifically this droid team, with how much he's kept for offense, I'm not surprised that these guys lost. I will be interested to see after the week's up which teams they actually use to win that droid team. The other teams were crap. Now this round we are going up against Scree. He's a solid opponent, not as much depth, but he has GL Ray in arena. He's doing decent in his fleet arena. Let me show you what the hot bot here from Hot Utils, the Discord bot here, what it's showing. So he's in a decently sized guild at 277 GP. Lifetime banners is completely respectable at 744. That's a guy who wins more than he loses, but possibly doesn't hit Kyber every time. This is an Erodium finisher, but participates in the game mode, which is key. He's at 6 million GP overall to my now 6.6 million. He's got the Edge in top 80 GP. Zetas are at 125. That is a good amount of Zetas, showing me he's been around for a while. I other than the GLs and any new characters that come out, I can't imagine putting on another single Zeta. I think even for the ones where I'm testing out some random ones, there aren't really other ones that I want anymore. Like, I'm at a point now where Stormtrooper Han is the Zeta that I'm considering. And I looked at in my guild what the Zeta counts were, and I'm like 9th overall in Zetas. Like, I'm at a point now where I'm well into luxury Zeta territory, and I don't think there's more worth putting on until I unlock GLs, or again until somebody new is in the game. Mods here are decent, not great. So when we're looking at the 10 plus mods, he's in range. When we're looking at the 15 plus mods, in range, but I have a big advantage in the 20 plus speed mods. The 25 plus, that's generally more RNG, so it's less instructive, but now with the 6-dot slicing, it's a little bit more informative. But where we are getting matched up is there's a lot of bloat here in the Gear 12, and there is a little bit here with the Tier 5. A lot of players are doing that with the Challenge Rancor, which makes sense in some places, doesn't make sense in other places. I think it depends on your own goals and your guild's goals. So with the GLs, he got GL Ray to my Jedi Master Luke. Even on the Jedi Knight Lukes, but his is slower. These slower Jedi Knight Lukes, that was more for Jedi Knight Luke lead, not with if he's coming off the bench. You're going to want a faster Jedi Knight Luke if they're not in the lead slot. His gas is only Relic 1. That's more relevant than speeds. Regardless of the clone's relic levels, you want gas at Relic 7. He's going to keep your clones alive. Now we are looking at... I might talk about this during this video, but it's come up on the Discord talking about roster bloat for a little bit, and Sith Empire, they are a candidate for roster bloat, because my general idea when it comes to these kinds of teams and these kinds of characters are, would this team have beat its opponent at lower relic levels, and when it comes to defense, I think I'm getting myself confused. Would the team have won anyway, and would they have lost anyway? And with Sith Empire, relic levels isn't making a big contribution. Like, you're either bringing in gas, and gas is going to win regardless of the relic levels, or a galactic legend, or you're using Darth Revan up against some of these other teams where Darth Revan is going to win at any relic level. And then ships is fine. Whatever. Let's get into this now. So Scree here, or Scry, probably going to be saying Scree. So I put down a tougher defense because this guy does play the game mode, but he does save a lot for offense. So Bad Batch went back on defense, partly because I want to see what a real player does up against them. Last week, Bad Batch did fine, but my opponents weren't as good as Scree here, so I wanted to see how they're going to do and how Scree is going to handle them. Same thing with droids. Mon Mothma is just a decent defensive team. Better than Old Republic and other teams, so I think it's always worthy to pee on defense these days, especially with the increased depth. Darth Revan, JTR, we've been talking about her lately. It's just any team that she can beat, other teams can beat, and it takes a certain quality of team to beat her, which is why she's been shifted to defense for me. This Cure team is kind of an updated version of previous Cure teams that used to be a timeout team forever ago. And I've had opponents previously underestimate her once or twice. Not really a good team, really more of a backwall team if anything, but on my backwall, we've got Grievous and Padme, and then just this intensely weakened Newt team where I've kept Watt in case Geo Ray is on defense, which I didn't think would happen, but I like to prepare for worst case scenarios, especially because sometimes you saw this last round a lot, or last season with Grand Arena a lot. I was having opponents scout me and then put everything on defense, which counter to what their history suggested. Now, this guy's defense here, we are looking at Old Republic. We'll Kylo that. Bast here will do something. This gas team is very weak. And then this bottom territory here. Bastila team, which weakens his Jedi Knight Revan team. Night Sisters here, and then this Hux team, which we can, I don't know, we'll think about what we do against it. There's a lot of things we can do against it. But we'll start here with the Night Sisters. We'll do Troopers. I just like that this is a cheap counter, even though this Night Sister team is very weak. But we're not really going to be using Troopers in another slot. So these guys here, remove the turn meter, and then work on getting this turn meter going from Veers. And just start these AoEs. I think these were all Gear 12, if I'm remembering right, which is just not a problem. just going to focus here for the turn meter train. There we go. Now we'll start looking elsewhere. These guys are decently modded though. Like last round, we were going up against Relic Night Sisters, and I don't think their Night Sisters took a turn. You can see already now these Night Sisters have taken multiple turns. I think we'll hit Ventress. I should hit Zombie first, because then I would have been able to hit both for the turn meter train. All right. How do I want to do this? This Bast team is nothing. I don't want to waste time, so we're gonna do Kylo against the Old Republic. Just keep moving. I'll think about things in the background. I think even with that Bastila team, those Jedi don't have a lot of damage. I'd have to look at how much control there is. Right now, I'm wondering if Nest is an option. There is a little bit of stuns, I think, from Ayla, but my Nest is modded for a lot of tenacity. We should be fine. Basically, I make these decisions based on how much protection is left on my Kylo. Every time he gets a little low, I'll do that ability, which this match has been a lot. All right, now we'll do the AoE. Jeez. Nice. Plenty of protection. We'll use the blind. I should have just done a basic since we had blind. Let's get a hit on mission. AoE. Nice. Okay, we got blind, so we use a basic. I might need to auto this in a second. think I'm definitely bumping up the relics on Kylo. Can we just... Can we please get through this? Alright, I'm gonna... Mods make such a difference to this counter, at least at the relic level that I'm at. That I'm thinking... Let's just auto this. I probably should have not autoed it. These Gear 12 Mission and Zelbars, depending on their mods, can beat my Kylo. Which means I need to either increase the relics, or I need to start paying attention to what these mods are before I attempt it. He's got speed there. And crit damage. It's definitely not how mine are modded, and that might be a good way to go to prevent some of that. But really, if I had increased relics, it wouldn't be an issue. Alright, we're going to move on. We were thinking... Got Old Ben. Plo, Ayla. It's going to take a long time, though. We got one stun, an ability block. I kind of want to do it anyway. I just want to see it. There might be something I haven't considered. But like the biggest damage here is Qui-Gon. I don't like that they're landing stun though. That's a concern. It's been so long that I've had to deal with Bast a lot. I may be forgetting things that her leadership does. Like I would assume there's a possibility of increased potency. Okay. Well, this is going to take a while, so... we can talk about other things. So, on occasion, I've been bringing up the chicken sandwich wars. And I don't really mean to again today. Although I did resample a couple chicken sandwiches. So, since the last time... I tried the new one from Shake Shack, the honey chicken whatever sandwich. It was fine. Although when I had them before, their normal chicken sandwich, I thought it was excellent. So I want to have the normal chicken sandwich again. And then I had the Church's chicken sandwich. This was a while ago, but I had that one again. And my problem with Church's is how inconsistent that place is. We're going to lose. I do not like this. But I bring all this up as a segue into a podcast I have been listening to uh, that I'm surprised has taken me this long to listen to, the Doughboys podcast, where it's a couple comedians reviewing chain restaurants. And I've just listened to a couple episodes, but I'm enjoying it thoroughly. It's basically the perfect premise for my tastes. One of the two hosts, if any of you, I know Lysol here has the Watch Tomorrow War on Amazon. One of the two hosts was the big guy from the beginning of the movie who falls through like a slotted ceiling and hurts himself and then sacrifices himself. That guy is one of the two hosts of the Doughboys podcast. But it's been funny and pleasant and light. It's just way too long of a podcast. I wish it was a little bit more bite-sized. But that's a gripe I have about podcasts in general right now, is there's too many. They take too long to listen to. And I really can't take on another podcast right now. Got enough. Are we targeting Bast? I don't want to do that. See, this is about what I was expecting. Some of the concerns I had about the stun from Ayla is a factor, but we're dealing with it. Can we maybe not target Basil anymore? Okay. Basically, when I'm looking at a nest counter, I'm looking at, do any characters do a big amount of damage and what kind of debuffs are on the field. So here, the biggest damage dealer is Qui-Gon, and he is not a big damage dealer. The rest of these guys, whatever. The protection up is something that Nest was going to get through over time. Ayla is the only wild card. But you look at the Gear 12s that he has on his roster. This is the type of stuff that should not be at Gear 12 unless you're going for something specific. Especially like Zombie. Leave your Zombie at Gear 10. Or I think mine's probably at 11. But as soon as you want these Night Sisters to die off, except for Daka and Ventress. Alright, Hux here. Hux. There's so many ways we can deal with this. But my problem with Hux, whenever I see Hux or even Crew these days, is you don't want to take too much. I want just enough. Can we do Geos? Geos might make sense. We got a Dispel to get around Crew. There is an you could do it if you had better Geos than mine. My Geos, I don't trust my Geos because my Geos are not high enough gear. Especially with Hux boosting the basics. That could get out of control. We'll do, you know what, we'll do Geos against Bounty Hunters. We're not going to use Geos anywhere else. We'll keep things moving. We are going against Bounty Hunters. This is, I have presets for a reason. Did I actually swap where my Geos are? Jeez. Come on. So with that Doughboys podcast, I listened to, I think, one of the recent episodes on Taco Bell, and it's made me think a lot about Taco Bell, because I think most people who are as old as me, Taco Bell means a lot. There's a lot of nostalgic value in Taco Bell. There's the fourth meal. It's great. Like, especially from like 18 to even earlier than that, 16, 17. Basically, once I was driving until like the middle of college, especially like summers home, Taco Bell is great. And I do miss, I guess what I'm trying to get to is, what I miss about Taco Bell are some of the menu items that are no longer there, because it does seem to be a lot of turnover in the menu from Taco Bell, a lot higher than compared to other fast food chains. And I miss a lot of those things. Like, I live in Southern California, so I don't go to Taco Bell very often, but it does happen on occasion, because like thinking of it as a Mexican place is wrong. It's its own thing. It has its own flavor profile, and sometimes you just want that weird chemical meat taste that they offer. It's a special thing. So like some of the menu items that are gone that I missed, like they used to have this thing called the chili cheese burrito, and it was like 79 cents. It was wonderful, and it's been gone for a very long time, but I love that thing. They've shrunken the amount of available chalupas, and the chalupa is great, but there used to be this like steak Baja chalupa, which my little brother got me into. He introduced to me how amazing that menu item, but now there's only like a beef chalupa. I don't even remember what made the Baja style, but there's like a Baja sauce or something, and that sauce was great. But last time I went to Taco Bell and asked for it, no one had any idea what I was talking about. It's so long gone. And one of the more recent removals has been the 7-layer burrito. That used to be a stalwart of the menu. Like, that was a menu item that if you were in the know, that there's a huge amount of value. And I think if you're going to a fast food place, you're not looking for good food. You're looking for a real good price to quality ratio. And that 7-layer burrito is right there. What are we doing here, Hux? I'm trying to choose these battles where I don't need to be paying attention to what I'm doing. You know what? Night Sisters would be fun here. Yeah, we'll just do Night Sisters here. We can use Gas or somebody up against Grievous if he's on the back wall. Night Sisters qualifies in that zone of good but not too good that I don't mind taking up against this team. Although we have that crit chance feat I need a lot of work on, because I didn't make enough progress on it last time, and that Mando feat we need to do. Alright, we'll Dispel with Spirit. Dispel and get some Plague over on Sith Trooper. That was a mistake. I need to hit the other one. I'll do a Mass Assist over here. Hopefully land a stun. Don't get it. Whenever you see Sith Trooper, just take out Sith Trooper first. Ooh, don't go after Daka. No. Are you guys programmed to go after Daka? I don't have Telzine here. That's bad news. I think we still have plenty of sacrifices left, though. Alright, now we can heal up. We're fine. Leave her alone. Although I did increase relics on Daka. She should be much better than she used to be. And she was plenty good before. But I just want to remove some of the variants that we were getting. I feel like this fast food banter would be better with like a Twitch stream or just any live stream. I don't actually eat that much fast food. I just talk about it a lot because what I really enjoy is having strong opinions about dumb things. It's just great. Perfect, that's what I was hoping for. Just a nice counter that adds to my health and damage stacking. We're going to deal with Kylo first. Kylo's landing that healing immunity. We still got the... From here we can just auto it. Alright, let's check out this back wall. Yeah, what I didn't want to use is use like Jedi Knight Revan or CLS or really any of my Jedi. That's just way too much up against. I was kind of hoping for something better for the Mandos, but we'll probably end up using them against Ewoks. We're going to just Vader with Geos here. It's way more than we need. I need to use... We'll do Jedi Knight Revan up against Mon Mothma. Because we need that feat. Alright, we're going to chuck this at Spy. Go around the horn. Which, as I'm saying it, I realize I don't really know what it means other than an ESPN show. Let's just fracture him. Take him out that way. Get a little taunt action. I don't know why. I mean, I know why I did it, because I wanted Vader to go, but I should have restored protection over on Shore Trooper. I don't think we would have gotten enough for the banner, but still. Alright, so we got Mon Mothma, Ewoks, and the cleanup we need to do, but what? Oh, and that gas team. Maybe we could do something dumb with that gas team. We're gonna stay down here, though. I think we'll start with Mandos. They're more fun. Didn't I make I made a preset with Mandos. Let me do that. Offense or defense? Some of these I need to get rid of. Like, I have the Grievous nuke team. I haven't used that in like a year. This is irrelevant. I have better presets for defense because I use these all the time. All right. Sabine, I need to update and just take out. I have tested her and she's just too fragile. I thought the extra armor shred would be nice, but it's not. Canderous is on my short list to get relic. Mando's on. Mando's not a bad relic, but he's not my priority. There's several other characters I want before then. The rest of this looks fine. The gear discrepancy, though, should be in my favor. But you saw last round how just pathetic these guys were against that bounty hunter team, which was, I think it was Relic Bast and a mix of Gear 12 and Gear 11 bounty hunters. Like, not a big deal of a bounty hunter team, and these Mandos just were trash. So I've made my armor as fast as possible with as much tenacity as possible. I've talked about this before when we were doing some Mando testing, but I don't think it's going to come up in this battle, but the amount of times that things I've tested didn't work out because my armor would get stunned or ability blocked was a big annoyance. I'm just going to basic this. I'm trying to slow play it a little bit. Oh, I wanted to say it. I always forget, but I'm trying to save those abilities for when Beskar does his birds. Now we want to put the Beskar armor on bow. Oof. Oh, you know what? I wanted to do the other ability. You know what? I'm going to leave him alive. It's not how I wanted things to play out. I wanted to do my Gar Saxon thing. That one of the reasons I don't like this is, like, I've tried to make these characters fast, set up in a way where I can have Gar Saxon assisting all the time, and it never comes up. I feel like I've tried this before and it's been a little iffy. Because I think Mon Mothma is smart enough to take out Jolie, but we'll see if that happens or not. That's why I even brought in Old Ben. I wanted that taunt. Yeah, they're going after Jolie. So we're going to taunt. That's fine. I wanted that revive to happen because what I don't want is when I take out Captain Han that he's brought back right away. I need Yoda to go again. I need to spread those buffs around. And it looks like I need to remod Bast because now my Yoda is faster than her. Can I slow play this? I would like to do those buffs one more time because we're probably only at like 12 or 13 on those crit chance buffs. Doesn't Han do it too? I think we'll do CLS up against Gas. I didn't do the ability block because I want what's his face to get crit chance again. Okay, we still have it. Alright, we'll wrap it up now. We've wasted enough time. It'll probably get us in the range of 20. This I'm doing just because of the gear discrepancy. I don't... The fact that it's gas is irrelevant. That's what I'm thinking, anticipating. Relic 1 gas, bunch of gear 12 clones. Alright, we're gonna stun, more than stun Rex. There we go, that's a bunch of crit chance. Or 5. We're not gonna even get it back around to it soon enough. This is gonna be over. Yeah. Is there anything... I don't think there's a lot of... One of the things that has occurred because of the increased depth of... Oh, that's one thing worth talking about. Omega here, I did not put on defense at 3 stars. she is not strong enough, and I would not put her on that team. Like, she's been, in my testing, she's been getting wiped out early. So I'm only going to use her on offense. But what I was saying, with the increased depth, or not the increased depth, the increased amount of teams that we need to put on defense, I feel like there are less things for me to be... Oh, you know what? We got Cat. I completely forgot about Cat. Let's use Cat with a bunch of dumb Jedi. Let's do like... Oh, I know Ki-Adi-Mundi doesn't work with her, but let's use him too. Because Ki-Adi-Mundi needs a full set. I should have used her sooner. I forgot about her. Sure. Last time we paired Cat with characters who were way too strong. So this time I want to go very light. Should have just done the Old Republic. Without Kylo, or maybe Hux would have been better with Cat. That may have been more interesting. Because right now I'm just slow playing it. Jeez. We didn't even get to the ability. Alright. Next time I'll make a note to do her earlier. Because our first two tests of her have not been very informative. At least our first two GAC tests. I've been doing things in galactic challenges with her. Alright. I think we're going to do Mace with the Razor Crest. We'll clean up with Rebels if we need to. Now that I have a 6-star Razor Crest, I'm liking using it against the Malevolence a lot more. And I think what I said last time is I'm going to pair the Scimitar up here. Because the Retribution works nice with the bounty, with Bast, with the self-cleansing. But I doubt it's going to come up. Although maybe I'll bring out Scimitar instead of Boba Fett. The Slave 1 doesn't add anything. Throw this breach over on Sunfac so we can get our breach synergy growing early. Well, we'll save that. We'll do this thing, get the cooldowns going a little bit faster. Hit that breach, take out Sunfac. Okay, now we've got the payout going. If there's ever breach, use the basic, get that double tap. See, now that I'm using the Houndstooth more, I'm starting to think it's time to relic him. You guys gotta be kidding me. That was not acceptable. Jeez. Yeah. It's starting to be there. I just need a stronger one. This is a much better Malevolence fleet than we have been playing up against semi-recently. Alright. I think I want Biggs. Or do I want the Y-Wing? I think against these buzz droids, I like Biggs a little more, but I'm not sure. Maybe I should have used Akbar first, because with the turn meter here, this might be a little sloppier. We'll bring in Cassian, take out Spy. Oh, that was a mistake. I needed to be clicking over here on CAD. I'm gonna relic my Biston. I know it. When I'm going to put Shuttle on the front lines. I now have a Gear 11 Royal Guard, which I didn't before. Because I didn't like when I had a lower level Royal Guard how slow my shuttle was, and because I see sometimes people putting it on the front lines, and I was feeling like when I was testing it, whatever, either people are wrong or whatever it's supposed to do, my shuttle wasn't doing. But maybe now with a higher gear on my Royal Guard, that's no longer the case. So that's worth seeing here. Look how slow we are. I can see that this is a good opponent, but he's not obsessive. Like, there's some gaps in his knowledge. Like, not having the Emperor's command shuttle here, or he has, like, a good Hyena Bomber, and the Hyena Bomber's coming off the bench. Like, he's not using the ideal teams, even though he has the right pieces. I think we'll do Gauntlet. I think I want the turn meter. I was thinking about maybe saving the cleanse. I don't know, I think I like TIE Fighter on the front lines. It's a little faster. I like calling in the shuttle as a reinforcement. Maybe at relics, like maybe a lot of those people I see running the shuttle, they've got relics for Royal Guard for going after Sith Eternal Emperor. I still feel like mine's too slow. Because I can see the advantage if you have a fast enough shuttle getting Sith bomb or TIE bomber to taunt right away. But if you're not getting that taunt, then what's the point? Alright, we're going to claim these feats. We're going to see where I am. My ranks have been really good this season. We're going for a really high finish if we can stay undefeated, which I want to, because my only undefeated seasons so far have been in 3v3. I always drop 1 or 2 in 5v5. I don't know why I was expecting a feat to click on. That's why I backed out. My brain felt like it was on the wrong screen. Alright, number 38 overall. That will drop from there. That's pretty good right now. Alright, 8 more on the crit chance. A bunch more on the rescue, but we have plenty of time for that. Alright, let's head to the new account. Back with a new account. Just realized I need to get that crit chance feat this time around. I thought I had one more. I could finish on the last day, but we're not going to be able to. So that's missing out on 50. It's too bad. I could have used that for a higher finish in overall Grand Arena. I try to get every feat I can. This is what we are currently going up against. That's not what I want to show right now. What I want to show is last round, which actually I think we saw in the last video, so maybe we won't break this down. Yeah, we showed this last time. But he'd had like 3 attempts against the Night Sisters and was out of teams for the Ewoks. And no trouble up against the Geos. I think he took 1 attempt against Padme. But what I'm finding is even an undeveloped good team, having that kind of depth is better than having just one dominant team. If you have one dominant team, maybe throw it on defense, but then you probably don't have enough other teams to go up against your opponent. This guy, it's the same defense as always. We're not going to break that down. But Night Sisters, Padme, Ewoks, and then Geos. He's got the right idea here. He's got CLS, but it's the wrong team. He doesn't have zombie geared up, so this team isn't going to work, but it's the right characters. He's well on his way. And then the bottom territory here, clones, but it's the same issue I always bring up with clones. You gotta have that Zeta or they're junk. They're such junk, in fact, that... Let's check these ability levels. Alright, ability 5. Slow mods, level 1 mods. I'm wondering if my bad troopers can handle this. It might be a mistake. Because what, we got Palpatine, we got CLS, we got my Jedi. I really want to see if my troopers can... My troopers are really bad. Especially for being one of my first teams. I want to throw some resources at them, but I'm working on Darth Revan right now. But we're going to do this. We're going to have major speed advantages. We should just be able to get through it quick. Because the whole thing that we do with this, when you find that they don't have the 5 Zeta, you force the sacrifice. Just ignore 5s. Like, you see all this protection here. All that health, and it looks daunting. But then you just go after Rex, force the sacrifice, and just... Now it's nothing. And like we have like level 65 on Veers and on Moff Gideon. The Piet and Stormtrooper are good. Range is okay. Because those were characters I've used in variations of my arena teams. But I stopped working on them once we got Palpatine and Vader. Or I stopped working on Veers at least. Range Trooper I kept working on. He was part of the arena team for a little bit. And then Piet and Stormtrooper, they were part of the arena teams for a bit. Got Rogue One. You know what I've been considering on this account? Like the next several Zetas, I've just been accumulating Zetas because I've been using the purple ability mats. And I haven't taken a lot of characters to whatever level they need to get a Zeta in a lot of cases, like level 82 or whatever. So I've just been collecting Zetas for that time where I feel like putting them down. But some of them, like 5s, I'm going to do Jolie, Grandmaster Yoda, probably CLS that binds all things, like those Zetas, doing those. Jolie, if I didn't say Jolie. So those Zetas, but I'm starting to think I want the Django unique that prevents revives. I feel like I want that. The only thing that stops me is that Mando and Boba Fett already prevent revives with their execute abilities, or execute and disintegration. It's definitely lower priority, but I miss it. I find that I miss it on this account. And there we go. We'll CLS his CLS. I think enough of the crit chance on day one, match one. It was too much to get this time around. But part of the problem is we had opponents that were, like, in this CLS battle, at least in the main account, not this particular one, but if the gear discrepancy is too much, you take out the opposing team so quickly you don't even get a chance for Han to do his thing. I don't even think Han won again. Probably should undersize some things. I don't know. We haven't. I don't know if I rarely ever do undersizes on this account. And there's no reason not to. I just it's not what this account's about, so I don't really pay attention to it. Why can't I? There we go. What am I doing? They're decently fast. Save the special because nobody has a buff. I think the basic is enough. Yeah. I'm bringing the TIE advance because of the guarantee hit. We don't have to worry about TIE fighter dodging or putting up foresight. Not that was relevant to that battle. Alright, we're done. We'll check feats real quick. I don't think there's anything to grab anyway. Okay, we got one. Yeah, alright. That's it for today. Alright, thank you for watching. This has been Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes. Be safe out there, everyone, and be excellent to each other.